All right, another defenseman who gets dealt in a trade, and that is Brett Kulak, going from one Canadian market to another. And so Kulak goes from the Montreal Canadiens to the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for defenseman William Legason and a second-round pick in this year's draft. So these returns for Kent Hughes are looking great, and we've got another one here.
I'm going to give the Edmonton Oilers a D here. I guess they went out and they needed to address the defensive part of their defensemen, and they did that. But at the same time, they picked up a guy who had stints in Laval in the last 2 seasons and traded a second-round pick and a player for it. So I'm going to give them a D, and I'm going to give Montreal a A here.
I'm going to give Montreal an A+. They're making out like bandits today, guys. And, you know, that is just a great return for a guy like Brett Kulak. And then Sherrod on top of that. And as we'll see next, we've got Arturi Lehkonen, who they got a great return for. So I love it for the Habs. A+ right there. And for the Oilers, for Brett Kulak, I'll give him a C+ because I do think he addresses a need for that team, which is a defenseman who can actually play defense. And, you know, if you look at some Montreal Canadiens defensemen, Brett Kulak can actually make a first pass out of his zone. He's been decent at it this year. You know, I think he might even be a better fit for the Oilers than a guy like Ben Sherratt, and he didn't cost a first plus. So yeah, I'll give him, you know, a C+. I think it was fine, still an overpay though.
This is kind of cool for Brett Kulak. Before I went into this trade, I said, you know, from one Canadian market to another, the only 3 teams that he's played for in his NHL career now, all Canadian teams: Calgary, Montreal, and Edmonton. That's pretty cool, if you ask me. We'll stick with